frigid or not, we must go forth and find Team Plasma. Hey everybody, I'm DeoGenZ. Sharon says that it's important for trainers to have strength, but he doesn't like the cold, just like me. And in this episode of my Black Walkthrough, we are going to see what Team Plasma is truly up to in this cold storage room, because back in the White Walkthrough, I postulated that they were popsicle stealing from Yakin, who is now Clay. And TM55, Scald, is over here. I just wanted to point that out to you guys because it's easily missed if you don't see it by that steel pillar. Something that Girder might hold. So for the battles here, at least with the snowball throwing dudes, we're going to speed it up because they usually have an elemental monkey and a timber. But in a recent episode, we just caught a vanillite, so I'm going to be working up pretty hard to raise its experience points early on so I can use it later down the route. I don't think I'll be able to train it up in time for the gym battle versus Clay, but with my Maractus and my Oshawott, or not Oshawott, but Dewott, my Dewott, I should be able to take him no problem. His gym is mainly rock and ground type Pokemon. I mean, it is a ground type gym, but sometimes I'll get the mix of rock and ground in there. And these opponents are good if you have flying type Pokemon that you want some experience on, just because you can spam timbers for experience points. But I tell you what, these construction workers, or ice floor keepers, I suppose you could call them, really don't give you an inkling of what's beneath their feet. Oh shit, he's got a girder just like we do. Yeah, they really don't give you a hint of what's beneath you. Frozen poke food? Poffins? Walt Disney's body? What? I don't know. Might be. Where is his body kept? In the Driftvale cold storage containers. If somebody had to hacks, they could go into them and tell us what's in there. Certainly not like the Half-Life 2 craters, or not craters, but crates that you would hide in to get rid of that helicopter. And if you've never played Half-Life, then I've completely alienated you from what I've been talking about. It's a great game. Get the orange box. It's worth it. And this should be the last construction worker / snow patrol guy that we have to face. Yep, more timber. It's very much the same. Easy points for us, because since they're going to use physical moves, bulk up really works well. I think bulk up is one of my new favorite moves. I don't know if it's new per se, but I've never used it until the 5th gen, if it's not new. I don't know. But I really love that it raises both attack and defense. That's so usable in the EV metagame. Perfect for physical attacking walls. And a hyper potion too. That's excellent. I don't think I mentioned this, but when we grab that TM Scald, it has a secondary effect. It can burn your opponents. Now that is a 5th gen move. I know that hasn't existed until the Unova region. Or technically Isu. All of you huddle around me. I can't take this cold. We must act like penguins. Can't believe you were really hiding. It's such a bother. Everything is such a bother to Charon. Yes, but who's your king? I guess N, right? Zinzolin. Whew, that's a mouthful. Sounds like some kind of Italian pasta. You want some zinzolin with tomato sauce and spaghetti? No, how about some plasma? These Team Plasma guys are going to be a piece of cake, especially if you've got a fighting type Pokemon like me. They're going to be sending out Watchhogs and other normal types, And also, they'll even throw you a Sandile for your fighting types to smash and stomp out. But not the Confuse Ray! I've noticed that in this generation, the Team Plasma evil team of this region gets pretty tricky with confusion and hypnosis. The AI is definitely getting a bit more intelligent these days, I feel. Usually they'll pull a hypnosis combination with confusion, or maybe paralyze you or something of that nature. It's really good combos, and I don't recall past generation teams doing such fancy moves. And we learned Rock Slide. That's even better to go against flying types if we come in that situation. And Scraggy will be affected super effectively because it is partially dark. And Sandile's partially dark as well, so no matter what they throw at you, you're gonna smack the shit out of it if you've got a fighting type Pokemon. Or even a Pokemon with fighting type moves. You could very well have that too. Just do a quick re-heal on my Girder. This way he can be fighting fit to pound the pulp out of these plasma peoples. I will say this, they are pretty hardcore. All huddling in a freezer. I don't know what they're searching for. But alive hard. This is a normal / dark type Pokemon. Another one that's simple for Girder to handle. Ah, not the fake out. Always obnoxious with that. You're stalling the inevitable. Man, I gotta say, even though we're not gonna evolve my Girder into Conkeldurr, it's doing pretty good in its stats. I think it will be able to, in tandem with Bulk Up, take any advanced players that we take on in the Elite Four or challenges afterwards. Hint, hint. So Clay was cornering these guys. You know, speaking of Conkeldurr, I've been playing around with the Pokédex 3D application on my 3DS. I'm sure you have been too. You too have been doing the same if you've got the 3DS. If you just got a 3DS, then go check that application out because it's free. Always will be free, unlike Excitebike Classic 3D Remake, which I only think is free for a limited time. But anyway, I love the Spot Pass features, going in every morning and seeing 3 new Pokemon in 3D. Gets me really pumped for Pokemon Gray or whatever the next RPG will be on the 3DS. I'm really excited to see fully 3D rendered battles. But one of the new Pokemon that I saw was Conkeldurr in 3D. You don't really get a true appreciation for what these Pokemon are until you see them in a third dimension, I feel. It's almost kind of my theory that a Pokemon's not a Pokemon until I've seen it in a video game, in the metagame, in the anime, and so on and so forth. And what I mean by that is a new generation doesn't feel fully at home in my book until I see it moving around in more than just a sprite form. Because otherwise it might as well be a Fakeamon. But Conkeldurr in 3D looks funny. It looks lackadaisical, but still, I know the power behind it, and it can kick your ass. But opposed to its sprite on black and white, where it looks like it's pissed off and it's going to hurl those concrete pillars at you, it looks rather pleasant and grandpa-like on the 3DS Pokemon Pokédex application. Don't know why I was redundant in saying Pokemon Pokédex, but it's funny to get a 3D perspective of all those guys. I'd say by far the most disturbing 3D rendering that I've seen is of Samurott, which is the next evolution of Duat, which we'll not be seeing because I'm going to keep my team partially unevolved for this walkthrough. Just a little bit of challenge I'm throwing in there for myself since I'm such a Pokemaster. Haha, tooting my own horn. But anyway, besides that, what he does is he takes one of the spikes off of his leg, and I believe Samurott is prepackaged in every Pokédex application. It's not like Conkeldurr where you have to wait for Spot Pass to come in, or it might be a random Pokemon that you started out with, but it takes out the spike out of the side of its flipper, and it uses it as a lance, as if it's some kind of blade. It holds it up to the sun like, ching, I am a samurai. And that shocked the shit out of me, because I thought that when it evolved to that narwhal-looking form, it was done being samurai. I think it's really cool that they kept those kind of features in. The Japanese art style, I mean. I've said it earlier in this walkthrough, but the starters each represent a different art style: American, Chinese, and Japanese. But will I be hiding in a chilly old place like this? You guys take these robbers. Roger! Oh, so they're just drab ice workers. They don't even get a cool name. Come on! Well, now they're policemen. They've been promoted. They're on the patrol for plasma. And you too, old guy. You guys ain't so bad. Yep, a promise is a promise. Come on and challenge my gym. Alright, so a promise is a promise, guys, but I promise you this. In the next episode, we will be challenging Clay. But we're going to end off this episode by getting out of this chilly bunker. But first, of course, getting this item, which is the Never Melt Ice. And what that does is when you attach it to a Pokemon to hold, it powers up the icy type moves. So I probably might, after I give it experience share and it's got proper level, I'll probably give that to my Vanillite, or whatever it evolves into in the future. So guys, I'll see you in the next episode, where we will face Clay, the gym leader of Driftvale City. See you then.